Hi guys, today's video we'll be looking at some of the intricacies of buying an apartment in the City of London. From navigating specialist lenders to London specific considerations, I've put together a detailed guide to give you tips that will help you to purchase your London apartment successfully. So stay tuned to find out more. Now, if you're finding the videos on this channel helpful, then we need your support. Consider using DM Mortgages to help you arrange your next mortgage or remortgage. And to do that, head over to dm.mortgage, which is our website, and there you can book in for a video appointment with our expert team who have got access to thousands of mortgage products to help you find the right deal. Now, your support keeps this channel running, so head over to the website, dm.mortgage, and there you can book in for a free appointment. And if you find the tips in today's video useful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any more valuable content. Now, the first tip that I want to give anyone that's buying an apartment in London is to consider specialist lenders. Now, London has a very diverse property market. And when you're considering buying a luxury apartment in London, especially one that's valued at £1 million or more, then you may need to consider specialist lenders, because often, guys, when you're looking at getting a mortgage, even over £500,000, there are some lenders that you are going to find it difficult with, particularly if you are buying an apartment. And of course, if you're buying in London, then there is a high chance that you are going to be borrowing more than £500,000. Now, traditional mortgage lenders may not grasp the high loan amounts that are required, because high street lenders often deem high loan amounts, especially when it comes to apartments, to be higher risk, whereas specialist lenders are familiar with the unique dynamics of high net worth individuals, London price properties, so they can sometimes be instrumental in making sure that you get the right finance. And like I say, the considerable price tags associated particularly with luxury apartments may mean that you need to give really careful consideration to the lender that you choose. So make sure that you get specialist advice from us to help you to navigate the complexities of larger sized mortgages. Now, my next tip is to consider a larger deposit size. Now, yes, you can get a mortgage with actually a zero deposit. There are some lenders that will give 100% mortgages, but the majority of lenders will require a minimum of 5%. However, when you're looking at buying an apartment, especially again with the loan amounts required to purchase in a place like London, then it may be advantageous to consider saving up more than that, because apartments and flats where lenders are concerned, they perceive them as higher risk. So often lenders will request higher deposits, potentially exceeding the standard 5 to 10%. Some lenders, even high street ones, will not lend money if you're buying an apartment or a flat if you've got any less than 15% as a deposit, especially if it's a new build. So with lenders, they will, some lenders will say, we need an even higher deposit if you're buying a new build. So the point here is, guys, just make sure that you're prepared for this. If you have got a small 5 to 10% deposit, I'm not saying that you can't get a mortgage in that situation, but what I am saying is that the pool of lenders is going to be more limited. So you just need to make sure that you are, again, getting specialist advice from us early on so that you know where you stand and exactly how much deposit will be required, because your deposit size is not just going to be based on the fact that you're buying an apartment, it's also going to be based on your individual circumstances, such as your credit score and other factors, and you don't want to become unstuck after you've found your dream property. So make sure that you know exactly where you stand early on. Now, the next tip is to consider the zone of the property that you're purchasing within. Now, London is a city of many unique neighbourhoods, each with its own distinct dynamics, but you need to consider the specific zone where you plan to buy, because central zones like 1 and 2 are going to command higher prices. Now, you may want to explore emerging zones because they are going to offer more affordable options. But if you're doing that, make sure that you factor in accessibility, amenities, and also consider future developments when selecting your ideal London apartment, because this may affect the future resale value. I saw a video on Instagram last week where it was actually New York that this happened, but still a major city. Someone brought an amazing apartment that had the best views of the Empire State Building, and then literally less than a year later, a huge skyscraper had been built to block that view completely. Now, what a bummer if you bought that apartment for the view. So, in a place like London, there's always developments that are happening. Make sure you know if there's something that's going to affect one of the major selling points of the apartment that you're planning to invest in. As a viewer of this channel, I assume that you're considering purchasing a property in the near future. So it's important for you to know that DM Mortgages are an award-winning team of fully qualified mortgage brokers that provide advice to clients all over the UK. Now, we spend countless hours making free content for YouTube and other social media platforms to help to give you guys sound and useful information to make sure that you're in the best position to make informed decisions. To support this channel, when the time comes for you to consider your mortgage options, we want you to book a free online mortgage appointment with a member of our fully qualified mortgage advice team. Because without your help and support, keeping this channel going simply isn't possible. Now, we searched thousands of mortgage products from high street and specialist lenders to find the right deal for your circumstances. And we also provide a free will writing service to every DM client. So head over to dm.mortgage and book in for a free mortgage appointment when the time comes. And also make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you find the content useful. But for now, let's get back to the video. Now, my next tip is to consider upfront and ongoing costs. Now, luxury living in London comes with its perks, but also ongoing costs. So you need to be mindful of things like monthly service charges, ground rent, particularly if the apartment that you're purchasing has amenities like gyms and concierge services. And in a place like London, these need to be also factored into your mortgage affordability, and lenders will potentially reduce how much you're able to borrow if the service charge is, quite high. But it can also affect your disposable income because, again, depending on how luxurious the apartment is, it's not uncommon in a place like London for service charges to be, £300-400 a month. So make sure that you factor this into your budget because, like I say, even the cheapest apartment in London is still, you're often looking at a service charge of a couple of £100 a month. So make sure that you build it in. And additionally, do not overlook stamp duty because stamp duty can be a significant expense, especially with London properties. Now, the next tip is to also consider the length of the lease. Now, first of all, I want you to understand what leasehold is because, again, that's going to be essential if you're looking at buying a London apartment. Because with a leasehold property, it means that you own the property, so the unit, but not the land that unit sits on. And this is usually going to be the case when you're buying an apartment in London. In fact, anywhere in England. Majority of England apartments or flats are going to be leasehold. Now, an often overlooked but very critical consideration when purchasing a London apartment is the length of the lease. Now, lenders will typically raise concerns when a leasehold property has got less than 85 years left on the lease. And this is also when it can start to significantly affect the property's resale value. Now, if you are buying a property with less than 85 years on the lease, you can potentially extend the lease, but this is often expensive. So before committing, make sure that you assess the remaining lease duration, factor in any potential costs for extension. This not only is going to safeguard your investment, but also ensure a smoother resale process in the future. So there you have it, guys, a guide tailored for those looking to buy an apartment in London. If you found these tips useful, make sure that you show your support for this channel by giving it a thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future valuable content. Also, make sure if you are considering buying an apartment in London, again, to make sure that you avoid any commonly made mistakes and that you've got the right guidance and support, head over to our website, which is dm.mortgage, and there you can book in for a video appointment with our fully qualified mortgage advice team so that they can guide you through your mortgage options. Happy apartment hunting, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.